Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Driving Perilously, the show in which we turn on the radio and talk about what it is that we find. What we find is myself looking like a patriarch, or Moses, and thinking about Moses. So Moses is the defining figure of a belief system, right? A belief system that has made its way around the world and influenced law, or been the basis of law, around the world. And so I was thinking about the Torah, which is a word that's sometimes translated as law, but it's certainly much more than that, or bigger than that. So we've got the Pentateuch, the first 5 books, or the Torah, or the Pentateuch, or Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. There is an alternate way of looking at the beginning of the Bible. Instead of 5 books, it's 6 books, it being one unit. I don't really know where that's coming from, but I do know that those 5 books were extremely important. The building block upon which the law and the prophets were written, and of course that's the building block, or the foundation for the New Testament. And the New Testament has shaped the world, at least the West. And of course the non-West is defined by not being Western. So we've got these 5 books that have played this amazingly pivotal role in world history. And why? Well, one point of view is that they are handed down by God. So of course they're the bedrock of history. But you're not allowed to just assume there's a God. You're supposed to think of things objectively and then try to figure out what's going on. That's the university method, right? The scientific method, the method of humanism that takes God away from the equation and tries to figure things out from our human standpoint. So what could possibly be the reason for Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy being assembled and taken as one unit when they are alternate? Well, there are many things. There are many, many things. But they contain alternate versions of laws, alternate tellings of tales. And why in the world would you need all 5? Or better said, why would you need in one book the combination of history and customs and laws and genealogies, and then the same things in the others? And then who came along and put them all together and treated them as one unit? So they're called the books of Moses. And Moses is certainly the central figure, or compiler, or the main compiler, or something. But Moses didn't grow up learning Hebrew, did he? So he wrote 5 Hebrew huge books, or compiled 5 huge Hebrew books that have alternate versions. Just for him to do one of those would be an amazing feat, and he had other things to do. But the central question when trying to figure out a supernatural meaning to natural events is, if it's supernatural, then any evidence you have, any conclusions you make can just be, oh, that's how God did it. So, in trying to figure out how God did it, we've got this central figure of Moses, which is quite the mystery. When you look at Cecil B. DeMille's The Ten Commandments, version 2 with Charlton Heston, and you see that beard down to here, which is just at the last of the movie, instead of the middle version where it's down to here, and the beginning in which he doesn't have a beard. We've got some serious questions about the figure of Moses. And everything that comes later is there. From the bronze serpent being held up to heal the world, to the golden calf diversions, to the manna sufficient to the day, but not more than one day, except on the Sabbath when you need it. It's all there in Genesis and Exodus. But what about Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy? What is the point of the 5 books for us today? If the same genealogies aren't present, then that would be an important record. But I don't even know if the same genealogies are present in each book, or if they vary, or if. So what we've got is people who say they believe it, who don't even know what's in it, and people who say they don't believe it, who don't even know what's in it. So that's where we are. I look like Moses. I'm thinking about Moses, and the mysteries will remain unsolved. So I hope everybody's doing well. I am on my way to a 2-show day. I had a rehearsal 2 days ago for upcoming show, and an audition same day, 2 days ago. So we'll see where that takes us, and we'll see future thoughts upon the Pentateuch in the future.